Hi everyone, and welcome to your weekly Pick a Card Tarot readings for the week of November 13th. If we haven't met, my name is Sydney, I'm the tarot guy next door, and I use my occult knowledge and intuition to help guide you towards the life you want. If you have a particular situation you want me to take a look at, you'll find information on how to get a private reading below. I'll be doing 5-card open readings, and here are the decks that I have for you. We have the Morgan Greer Tarot with Green Aventurine, the Tarot de Marseille with Red Jasper, and the Borderless Rider-Waite-Smith with Lapis Lazuli. We also have 4 different oracle cards to choose from 4 different decks. So go ahead and pick which tarot deck and which oracle card resonate with you the most. It's totally fine if you're drawn to more than one, and as always, you can pause this video if you need more time. As always with collective readings, take what resonates with you and leave aside what doesn't. If you want to jump straight to your reading, you'll find timestamps right below. And with that, let's go right to the readings. Alright, Group 1, let's see what we have for you for this week. Fun fact, you're the only group that didn't have a jumper while I was shuffling, so I don't know what that means. Just figured you might want to know. Let's throw down all 5 cards. Page of Cups. Ooh, 2 pages. With, what is this? This is the 5 of Swords reverse. Oh, okay. Let me see. Actually, there's, this is certainly in frame, but is this straight or crooked for you? Okay, yeah, this will do. Group 1, this message is actually pretty straightforward. You need to listen, for this week anyway, you're being invited to listen to your mind less and listen to your heart more. I don't always do this, but the way to interpret these 2 pages that suddenly makes this reading obvious and crystal clear is to read these as 2 aspects of the same person. And it is clear that all the swords are reversed in this reading, including the 5 of Swords at the bottom of the deck here. I think that this might be... Okay, actually, before I go into the warnings with the sword cards, I've basically already covered that. I think it's important to talk about the 3 upright cards here. This is looking like a lot of sudden movement towards a goal or checkpoint. I often call the 4 of Wands the checkpoint card. It's like a cause for celebration after achieving something that is en route to a bigger thing. You know, this is the 4. We're not even halfway to 10 yet. And with the rapid movement implied by the 8 of Wands here, there are 2 main ways to interpret this. Sometimes when things develop so quickly, it can shake you, it can rattle you, and it can make you think in ways that that you don't normally think, but I mean that in the bad way. This is another thing I say a lot on this channel. When you're on the verge of a breakthrough, that's when all the little doubts and insecurities in your head are the loudest, and this might be the danger that you're being warned about for this week. So what I would invite you to do for this week, Group 1, is to be mindful of pick your fights. Pick your fights. And spoiler alert, I don't think many fights will be worth fighting this week. I think this will be a week for letting your intuition and emotions and desire to connect. There's so many ways to read the Page of Cups here. I always read, I often read the Page of Cups as the quirky little aspect of yourself that we're not always proud to share with others and things like that. Now it is upright, so that I'm reading it much more confident, especially compared with the reverse Page of Swords that it is counter to, you know? I think that the way to get to the breakthrough or the aha moment or the clarity that you seek for this week would be to just be more open to other people's perspectives than you might have been in other weeks, because this is looking like a week where, I have this problem often. Okay, yes, this is a self-report. Sometimes I say a thing and when it comes out, it sounds way harsher than I was actually thinking it. This actually happens fairly often with me. It's something I need to, something I would like to alleviate. And if I had this reading for myself for this week, I would definitely take the gas off the pedal on the snarkiness. Well, this is specifically for me, snarkiness, all right? I don't mean you. I'm still talking about me. I would take my foot off the pedal for, snarkiness and sarcasm and shit like that for me. Now for you, whatever you do when you're irritated or a little more taking offense at things that aren't necessarily meant to be offensive and shit like that. Whatever you do when you're in those kinds of moods, this would be the kind of week to lean on those techniques more, really. Yeah, just be your open, vulnerable self, and you don't need to be right about everything. It's okay to just let people be wrong about things that they're wrong about, because obviously you're right. You know, I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm just telling you not to fight over it, because you're obviously right, of course. So yeah, I think that's a good note to end this reading on. So thank you very much. If you liked your reading, please give this video a like, and you can use the Oracle cards in the description below. Sorry, damn it. You can use the timestamps to jump to your Oracle card reading. All right, one of these days I'll get it right. All right, group 2, the 5 of Wands flipped over while I was shuffling for you. I'm not sure if it was for you or if it was for me, to be honest. Explaining that hesitation would be way too long and off topic, but let's see what we have for you for this week. This should be fairly decent framing for you. Oh yeah, awesome. The energy I'm getting from this reading is one of two people coming together to combine to create something that's more than the sum of their parts. Obviously, we have all cups here, with the only exceptions being the 7 of coins here and the 9 of swords at the bottom of the deck. And I don't think it matters whether or not you're the Page of Cups at the top here or the Queen of Cups at the bottom here. The way that I read court cards in Marseille, the different levels of the court, like Page, Knight, Queen, King, I see them more as levels of agency. So the Page is the child of the King's court. They have fairly little agency, especially compared to the other 3 courts, right? And the Queen, on the other hand, sits right by the King's side. You know, the Queen of Cups especially, like, she's the one that people confide in and shit like that. That might help you distinguish which one you are of these two. But this is clearly two people who are on the same page, usually advancing forward together, uniting their cups to create something bigger and better, and achieving the milestone or the target that they were aiming at. I'm not pointing at the card. I'm pointing at this coin right here, which you know, for some strange reason, I don't know why, is often the focal point for me for this card when this card turns up. But all that being said, you know, I see a lot of forward movement together and reaching some kind of breakthrough hinted at by the 9 of swords here. And the due confidence that comes when you know that you are working with someone who has your back, is on your page, and that you want the same things and that your goals are very compatible with each other. That's a really empowering feeling to have, whether you're the Page or the Queen. Hopefully my description of both helped you figure out which one you are. But this is looking like really good vibes. So what I would say, group 2, first of all, the 5 of Wands was definitely for me. All right, I'll spare you. The way, if you have someone that you've been thinking of during this entire reading, you know, good for you. I would invite you to go forward with this person on whatever, you know, you're trying to do together, for this week anyway. And if you don't, I would think harder. Think of people that you could turn to, or think people that you could invite to have them turn to you, whether or not you're the Queen or the Page here. I think that would be the key for you, so that you can unite your cups and advance towards your goals together. Yeah, that's a really good note to end on. So I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this reading, please give this video a like, and you can use the timestamps in the description below to jump to your Oracle card reading. I'll see you there. All right, group 3, let's see what we have for you. And FYI, the 10 of Swords flipped over. 10 of Swords reverse flipped over while I was shuffling for you. I don't know what that adds, if anything, but we shall turn over your cards. Okay, well, this is nice. right when I was about to tell you not to panic because I was flipping the cards over, the Six of Coins and the Lovers show up, the only upright cards in your reading. If I were to pick just two cards to have upright in my reading, these, you could do worse than these two cards. Yes, you are well centered. All right, I'm gonna stare at these. Give me a second. Group 3, I think a key question for you to keep in your back pocket to ask yourself this week is, now what? This isn't the first time I brought this up on this channel. Oh, before I move on, I just want to point this out in case I forget to point this out. It's very fascinating to me that the two sets of scales in the deck are here side by side, one reversed, one upright. I can't think of any other set of scales in the tarot deck. I don't think it exists if there is one. But regardless, coming back to what I was saying, actually let's vamp on Justice Reversed here for a bit, because this is one of these classic Justice Reversed cards on my channel anyway, where this is either an actual injustice or something that looks like an injustice, but from a broader perspective is actually fair. And given the rest of the cards in this reading, I don't think the difference matters, but I just wanted to acknowledge the two ways that I usually often read this card, and it fits very well into this message. So the overall vibe of this is one of shock, discontent, not necessarily shock. That might be too far. It's not like the Tower is here or anything like that. You know, the two only major arcana cards in the reading are Justice and Lovers, so that's nice. But I see a lot of conflict among peers, hinted to by these cards here. These two cards are blending very well together. So I'm not sure which one that I'm reading more into when I talk about conflict among peers. And again, it's not like the Five of Swords is here, so I don't think it's like a shouting match or anything like that. But I think it is people realizing that they have different opinions and that really bothering someone. Like, let's say... I'll go there. Let's say that you work in a place that doesn't require a vaccination, and either you're vaccinated and you find out that one of your colleagues isn't, or vice versa, and that really bothers you. It's not the kind of thing that you're gonna yell at each other over, or at least I hope not, especially not at this stage in the game. But it might be gnawing at your craw. I believe that's the expression. And that can interfere with your ability to make wise decisions and actually pick a sword. I'll circle back to the overall message because this actually played into it, but I got distracted. So the overall vibe is one of... I'm gonna stick with shock because I can't think of a better word. I've already given you the asterisks about that. So it's shock and discontent about something, an event that people disagree about what happened, but there's still a decision that needs to be made, and people are having difficulty getting on the same page about this decision. And you're being invited to use your wisdom as best you can, and also now this Lover's here. At the bottom of the deck, binding the entire reading together. There are a couple ways to interpret this card. The Lovers is a card, obviously, of love, but that's not the aspect that's coming forward much with this, especially with these three coins here. I'm getting more practical, tangible matters. But it's a card of divine timing and divine choices as well. Those are two aspects of the Lovers that often get put to the wayside, in favor of love. It's almost as if the card was named after that, so I get it. So yeah, sometimes when you're on a team and your teammates do shit that annoy you, and that you can't even believe they would even think to do the thing they did. Like, holy shit, what's wrong with them, But you still gotta make a choice about the thing that you're trying to do. And I think that the invitation of the Six of Coins, 6 major arcana card, Lovers card here, is to, first of all, you can find allies among your peers, and also to really focus on what would the highest, best version of our collective decide in this instance. I think that is one of the things that the Lover's card here is screaming at the bottom of the deck here, because ultimately you got to make a choice. You can't deliberate forever. And I have a feeling of, well, we can't make a choice before we're all on the same page about this one thing. And I don't think it's going to happen this week. And you got to make a choice. So now what? You know, okay, you're vaccinated, I'm not. I think you wanna, whatever people think about that thing, and now what do we do together? Whereas, you know, you might think that I'm a crazy tinfoil hatter, but we still got to work together. We still got to pick a sword. So that is the situation, and the solution is to try to appeal to the highest version of everyone involved in the group and try to imagine what they would do. Which sword would they pick? Even if you can't get on the same page, what would the best version of you decide given the circumstances as they are now? I think that is the key question for you to ask, or in other words, now what? Yeah, I think that's a good note to end on. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked your reading, please give this video a like. And as always, if you don't want to watch me pick up your reading, you can use the timestamps in the description below to jump to your Oracle card section. I've been flipping timestamps and Oracle cards so much, I think the pause is warranted. Anyway. All right, let's go with the Oracle card portion. This should be good like that. Excellent. All right, Group A, your card is Discernment. This is very good. This is card number 20. I haven't used this deck in a while, so I don't even think I named the numbers. Let's read the text under. The frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world through the... Sorry, let me start over. The frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. Wow. This fits so well with all three messages. Honestly, I'm just going to read it again and move on. I often say this is so perfect that it's difficult for me to add something. I'm not even going to try with this one. It's too perfect. So, repeating, the frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. So I know it's easy to say find the balance, but find the balance. All right, Group B, do we finally have a new moon in Scorpio? Ooh, new moon in Leo. Confidence is your key to success. Let me just show it to you before putting it down with the others. Well, this is really interesting, because here's the thing. Depending on the reading that I gave you, I might have told you to take your foot off the gas as far as, you know, picking your fights and not getting into needless yelling matches. Honestly, this was a theme that was repeated a couple times. So to you, if you also chose this card, what I would say is it's okay to just let other people be wrong. And it's okay that other people think that you're wrong. That doesn't need to get to you. As long as you know your truth, I think that that is what will help you resolve whatever you need to resolve this week. You know, okay, I've suddenly been reminded of a Buddhist saying. I've been told it was a Buddhist saying regarding the sun, ruler of Leo. The sun never says, "Hey, look at me, I'm shining." It's just there, shining. And that is something that you might be, that I would invite you to consider, depending on the reading that I gave you. But yeah, you can definitely be confident this week. Group C, your Egyptian god is Mut, being ordinary. Okay, this is a pretty clear... This is a pretty clear invitation not to reinvent the wheel, to stick to the basics, to focus on the fundamentals. I think that in times of stress or in times of chaos or in times of tumult, we often want to be fancy and to make moves and gamble. This is a clear invitation to not do that. and to rely on the fundamentals. I often use boxing as a metaphor. If you have jab, jab, cross, hook as a combo that's just wired into your brain, even if you're in the final round and you're all beat up and you've barely landed a blow on your opponent, that's not a reason to entirely drop jab, jab, cross, right hook. My example was too extreme because if you've been jabbing all day and you haven't landed a blow, that might be time to improvise. So, but it's not a time to abandon the fundamentals like jab, jab, cross, hook. Yeah, Group D, your card is Fear. Ooh, it's funny. Man, people do such weird things when they're scared. This is either an invitation for you to push through the fear or an invitation for you to realize that when you're scared, it just means that you're focusing on an unknown future. Something that can alleviate fear in situations like this is to just trust your ability to figure it out. I'm a huge proponent of this, and I think that if you just trust that you can figure it out if the unexpected happens, that's how you can walk through the dark gateway despite not knowing what is beyond it. And to do so in a way that you're not nervous and shaky and doing all sorts of dumb shit, So try to keep that in mind for this week. Yeah, that was mic drop. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked your video, your reading or this video, please give this video a like. Thank you so much for watching once again. Y'all have a great week. Take care. I'll see you soon.